He's the editor-at-large of the National Review Online. He's a visiting fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, and he wrote the book Liberal Fascism, The Secret History of the American Left, From Mussolini to Politics of Meaning, a highly absurd book. He's now promoting a book he's editor for, Proud to Be Right. That's also interesting. So, Jonah, welcome to the Young Turks.
Thanks very much. I'm assuming you haven't actually read my book, but that's fine.
Of course not, because it has a insane title like Liberal Fascism. Why would I read
a title that
nonsense?
a title that actually comes from H.G. Wells, one of the most important liberals of the 20th century.
Yes.
But hey, it's okay.
No. It's okay, then make the case.
How this is going to work, where you're going to pronounce from the beginning that you think certain things are absurd that you haven't read. It's good to know. But let's move on.
Jonah, I got a question for you then along those lines. If I wrote a book called Conservative Nazis Like Jonah Goldberg, would you read it?
Conservative Nazis like Jonah Goldberg?
Yes.
No, because that's stupid.
Oh, but liberal fascism makes sense, so that I should read that book. And about how progressives are like Mussolini. That makes a lot of sense, so I should pick up and read that book, right?
Your example is stupid because it's a book allegedly about me. Actually, I would read it if it was an entire book about me. I probably would read it. I was going to say,
actually, you probably would.
At the same time, the title "Liberal Fascism" comes from a speech by H.G. Wells in which he was talking to the young liberals at Oxford University, in which he called for Western progressives in America and in Britain to embrace what he called liberal fascism. He also called for enlightened Nazism. The fact that you're ignorant of progressive history does not justify you calling my book absurd when I'm on the phone with you.
So, Jonah, I assume you don't think there were any conservative Nazis back then, right? Because my understanding of history is that a lot of conservatives in this country were in favor of the Nazis, and certainly the Nazis themselves were conservatives. So if I wrote a book about conservative Nazis, that would make a lot of sense, and I'd go, hey, that was the conservatives back then, including, for example, George W. Bush's grandfather, who did business with them. Conservative Nazis, that'd be a great book, right?
Yeah, that stuff has been so debunked by every serious historian, the Bush Nazi grandfather stuff.
So there were no conservative Nazis. Let's leave Bush aside. Let's leave Bush aside. There were no conservative Nazis.
Oh, there were certainly American people who you would qualify, and I would probably qualify as conservative, who were pro-Nazi.
Okay.
But
so do you get
no major conservative intellectual that conservatives today revere was remotely as pro-Nazi as the New Republic was pro-Mussolini.
Look, I don't give a damn what H.G. Wells or Orson Welles said in 1920 or 1820. That has nothing to do with me. So when you write a book today about how liberals believed in fascism, can you see how people might be upset by that? Because it's like me saying, hey, at some point conservatives like Nazis, and today I'm going to write a book about how the conservative movement was built by Nazis.
I have no problem with you getting offended by the idea that you can't get past a cover and a title and not even care where the cover and the title come from. The simple fact is, if your personal self-esteem and self-worth and self-identification is so wrapped up in the word liberal, you can't get past that. That's your hang-up.
No. It has nothing to do with my personal identification.
You don't know jack
about
what I wrote.
Why would I waste my time on a book like yours? There's a million books in the world, and you're going to write about a book about how liberals are fascists, and I'm supposed to waste my precious time reading a nonsense book with that nonsense title? It doesn't have to do with the fact that I'm offended. It's just that I would never waste my time with an asinine premise like that.
Well, the simple fact is you clearly don't know what I write in my book. Right? Because you say that I'm saying that all liberals are fascists.
Jonah, you're on the show. Enlighten us. Tell us what your brilliant thesis in the book was.
The brilliant thesis in the book was that people like you don't understand your own intellectual history, and there's this.
I understand my own intellectual history. I don't know. I don't understand Wells's, and I don't understand Wilson's, and I don't give a damn about theirs.
Fair enough. If we're going to do this sort of trial lawyer thing where you're going to logic chop every pronoun I use,
I'm going to be logical. Yes, we will be doing that.
If that's the word you want to use. The fact is that the National Socialists of Germany were socialist in almost every objective sense that we understand the word socialist. Benito Mussolini comes out of the socialist movement. He earns the title Il Duce as the leader of the socialists in Italy, not as some crazy right-winger. Benito Mussolini was an atheist. The Nazis hated Christianity. The Nazis were for wealth redistribution, socialized medicine, and all of the rest. The people in the United States who were most enthusiastic about fascism were the progressives, and they're in the progressive era, from the New Republic to most of the leading lights in American progressive thought, were very enthusiastic about Italian fascism. They're also enthusiastic about Bolshevism, more enthusiastic about Bolshevism, but they did not see Bolshevism and fascism, communism and fascism, as opposites. They saw them as similar phenomena. And there has been 70 years of spin and BS from people who like to use this argument ad Hitlerum that anybody who disagrees with progressives must be an anti-Semite or a Nazi. And it is a deeply offensive slander, and it seems to be the one that you've so bought into, you don't even care to be educated against it.